Hello, boys, girls, ladies, and gentlemen, and everything in between. It's me again, Raunchy Ram, and I wanted to introduce this video real quick. It's a guide for Miko on Battleborn, and as you may have saw in my review, I'm not currently, ecstatic about the current state of multiplayer. There isn't really anything to the fault of the developers. So I thought I would take it on myself to, well, help out everyone by making Battleborn a little bit more playable by introducing various guides to help players play.
We were young. We reached and spread over acres and eras. We embraced an endless horizon shaped by our own hands. We were our whole world. We were so young. Then we grew. We were older. We witnessed the passing of the sky, the last sliver of sun. We lost ourselves to the expanse. We fell beyond our own reach. Never again will we be whole.
Not much of A. Mikolopria is known because Miko was created by the Eldred to help with the war against the Generate Empire. Like many others who survived to see the last star, Miko may be the only one of her race, and as such, this makes her even more of an enigma. She has a tendency to talk in circles and refers to themselves in plural. For example, she will say we instead of me or I. This denotes that she isn't one single organism, but is actually made of many different organisms, all self-aware working to support her body. I refer to Miko as her and she only as a way to humanize her because her nickname Miko is a female name. Mikolopria possesses very strong healing capabilities discovered when she accidentally lost her mushroom cap and cleared the offender of several substance addictions and a tumor. So you could say she is a natural-born healer. But as the last star is beginning to dwindle, Miko realizes she may be forced to fight and protect just as much as save and preserve. Miko is a capable combatant but also a strong healer, and her abilities reflect that. Miko's primary attack and passive work together. Her primary attack, Combat Botany, is activated with right trigger, R2, or left mouse click respectively. She can throw 6 of her kunai before having to reload, and they have bullet drop, which doesn't become an issue unless you are fighting at extreme ranges. The kunai deal decent damage, and when paired with her passive Molecular Mycology, she deals an additional 48 damage over 2 seconds. While the poison isn't very strong, there are moments where I've gotten a kill with the poison. Just don't rely on it. Miko's secondary attack is A. Mikolopria, the name of her talent, but you probably know of it as her heal beam. This is her most important move and one new players don't know about because the game doesn't show it on the character select menu. This is easily her most important ability, and if you skip out on it, you may find yourself reading some hate mail. With her heal beam, she restores the health of her target by 53 HP a second, and when paired with her first skill, Biosynthesis, she restores 50% more HP a second and heals herself based on how much she heals others. Miko's second skill is Cloud of Spores. Miko throws a spore sack that explodes on impact, dealing 134 damage, and the sack leaves behind an area of effect that slows and causes damage over time for the next 4 seconds. This is a strong ability, as later in her Helix she can get a stun for direct impact. Try to pair this stun with another character's stun to get longer stuns and easier kills. Miko's final ability, or ult, is her best heal and with the right upgrade her highest damage ability. Miko removes her mushroom cap and throws it to the ground, growing a mushroom that heals nearby allies. This mushroom has 214 HP and stays deployed for 45 seconds. Allies within range gain 75 HP per second. I'd highly recommend using this ability in every team fight. The cooldown is fast considering how long the mushroom actually stays out. And if enemies aren't focusing it, it stays out probably for the full duration. But her mushroom may be just what your team needs to turn the tide of battle in your favor. While I'm showing you guys the Helix abilities, keep in mind that these are my preferred ones. I've spent a long time playing Miko. I actually haven't gotten her final mutation, but I've spent a long time playing Miko, and this is the setup that I prefer. I will provide alternatives, though, as I go down the line. This first one, I'd recommend getting the right side. Honestly, this first level is insignificant. You can pick either one of these and it really doesn't matter, but I honestly like making the Spore Sack better for more CC, so I would go right side. For 2, I would go with Heal Thyself, because this is the one that lets you heal yourself while healing other people. I highly recommend this one because if you've ever played Miko without being able to self-heal, it's pretty torturous. If you get focused, even for a second, it's over with. For the third one, I'd recommend using the mutation in the middle if you've got it. I don't remember which level you get this mutation, but it increases her overall health per second to nearby teammates when she's using her ability. Otherwise, it's really based on preference. You can go for faster reload speed if you find that you're attacking more, or you can go for reduced cooldown time on your skills if you want to throw more Spore Sacks. For the next upgrade, I would say go for the right side one, because her lore, it counts stuns from Spore Sacks, so it only counts this ability's stun, Spore Shock. So while you're trying to level up that one, get this one, but I found that I actually continually used Spore Shock even after I was done with the challenge, because the extra CC makes it easier to get kills, run away if you need to, or provide yourself a moment of reprieve to get your heals off. The middle one's not so great. It's pretty much, it just turns it into a trip mine. And then the one on the left is if you can't actually land your stun ones. If you feel that you're not able to land an impact shot when you need to get the stun version, then I would suggest using the Trail of Spores, because it's better for clearing lines, and also you can create a poisonous trail that if people are trying to run away from you they'll have to walk through it and they might die. And also because of the slow. Next one, I'd recommend getting the one on the right. The one in the middle doesn't really help you, because the only other damage move that Miko has is her Spore Grenade. And her Spore Grenade already does a damage over time, so adding the molecular mycology effect to the grenade isn't that helpful. Now, whether you choose left or right, if you're in campaign, I'd say right, because right causes her molecular mycology poison on her kunai to spread to nearby enemies. This just makes clearing larger groups easier, especially if they're weak ones. And then if you find yourself getting focused a lot, you may actually need more lifesteal, so I would go for the lifesteal here. For this one, again, this one depends on whether you're being focused or not. If you're being focused, go for the left one, Probiotics. This is the one that increases how much healing you receive when using biosynthesis. This one's a lot more necessary, especially after the recent nerf to Miko's biosynthesis effects. The middle one here increases the amount of health per second you give when using biosynthesis. I would use this one if you're having to heal large tanks like Montana or Kelvin, tanks that take a very long time to heal. I do not recommend getting the right side one, because you're a healer first. Your spore grenade, in my opinion, should only be used as a CC. But you're welcome to get it if you want. But remember, when someone sees you lock Miko, they are assuming you're gonna heal. For 7, I don't find movement speed very helpful. And it only happens when you take damage. Like, it's good if you're getting focused and you need to run away, but I'd recommend right side just for the attack speed. It really doesn't matter which one you pick here. Number 8, you actually want... I at first thought you wanted cooldown time so that you could use biosynthesis more frequently, but I thought about it. It's only a 30% reduction in cooldown time, which means you can use your biosynthesis more. But when you get 5 seconds extra on your biosynthesis, that turns the biosynthesis's effect into a 10-second duration, which is the same as having double the length. So double the length actually results in more biosynthesis time than using a cooldown and using the ability twice. It's just it's more efficient, but the thing is if you need to use it more frequently to heal yourself, then I'd go for cooldown time. If you need it to heal, if you need biosynthesis to be healing tanks like Montana and Kelvin, then I would go for Residency. Number 9, Resilient Strain is the one you should get here, because it makes the linger effect of the spore grenades last longer. the radius is already perfectly fine on the Spore Grenade. There's no reason to increase it. It's just, there's no situation that you're going to need a much wider radius unless your aim is bad. And the final one. The final one depends. Are you playing against people that know to target your mushroom? If people know that your ult is a problem, they will focus your ult. If they're doing that and you find that your ult is going down immediately, I would recommend getting Bark Skin. But if you plan to use it offensively, or you plan to use it in campaign, I would go for Vicious Strain. The damage over time, superb. Recommended gear is actually pretty easy, because Miko focuses Miko's most important move is her heal. You want to focus on an upgrade that increases your health, how much you heal other people for. So what you would want to do is you would go for something like the health boxes here. The health box's primary stat is usually heal power, which increases how much you heal other people for. And if you're lucky, you can get one with healing received as a secondary ability. Now, for each of these, the absolute best thing you can get is an ability with something strong on it, but also something that affects shields in a negative way, because some more knowledgeable Battleborn players, people who have played more, will notice that negative effects on a piece of gear actually reduce the activation cost, or how much crystals it costs to activate an item. So if you can get any of these things with a shield reduction of any sort, because Miko's an Eldred, the shield reduction isn't anything actually negative to her, but it actually reduces the cost, so it does nothing but positive for Miko. So you want to go for a health box for the healing increase, and as your secondary you want to go for healing received, usually pendants like these. And the last thing, you either want to go for a total health increase or a health regeneration increase. The reason I actually picked this one over an actual health increase is because of the healing received after taking damage. So with all three of these having healing received, I restore about an additional 30% health shortly after taking damage. Well, that's the end of the Miko character guide. If you got any use out of the video, I'd appreciate it if you gave it a like, and if even more possible, I'd like you guys to share the video, because I feel like Miko is a character that is heavily underplayed or is played incorrectly, and I feel like if this video was shared around a little bit more, we'd get less people playing Miko and not healing, and more people playing Miko and actually healing. Also, Miko's my favorite character, and I haven't really played around with anybody else outside the beta, so if you guys got any suggestions on who I should do a guide for next, I'd appreciate it. I was thinking of doing Ambra next, because I feel like healing roles need to be covered immediately, because those are the important ones.